sort of coat has no sleeves and is put on wet?
What sort of coat has no sleeves and is put on wet? Pause. Yes, people, welcome back to the channel, Princeton Talks. As usual, comment, like, subscribe, notification bell, hype the video. It's a bit of an awkward one today because I got an audience. Got my daughters just sitting on the dining table, just watching me. Like, they've been so eager to just see me do YouTube content, so they're just sitting there, literally just watching me. But anyway, yeah, like, comment, subscribe. In fact, furthermore, before we even get into the football, we got a little joke for you today. Do you want to say it out loud, Zena? Go on.
What sort of coat has no sleeves and is put on wet?
What sort of coat has no sleeves and is put on wet? Pause. What kind of coat has no sleeve and is put on wet? I actually think I know the answer, but I'm gonna let you lot pause it for 10 seconds and guess. The first coat of paint.
Yes.
Is that right?
A coat of paint.
Come on. Alright, I'll let you do one more. Do you have another one that I might not know?
When is a piece of wood like a head of state?
When is a piece of wood like a head of state?
Like it's the head of state.
When is a piece of wood, pause again, like it's the head of state? I don't know.
When it's a ruler.
When it's a ruler. What? Say that again? There we have it, guys, man. Comment, like, subscribe for more jokes. What did she say? Comment Xena jokes. Comment Xena jokes for more Xena jokes. But anyway, listen, we're going to get into this Brighton versus Arsenal game. We had Chelsea on the 1st of March at Emirates. I was meant to do my player ratings for that game, but I had some bad news later on that day. Lost a close friend, so wasn't really in the headspace to get on the YouTube and do all of that. But I did watch the game. It wasn't the greatest game, so you didn't miss out on a lot on the review and the player ratings. But a win is a win. We'll take it. It feels like it doesn't matter what happens on that pitch. If it's Arsenal Chelsea just won't win. I don't know why. They just can't do it. You know like no matter what, when it doesn't matter how long you ain't played FIFA for, when you play your little brother, he just can't win. It doesn't matter how cold he gets. It doesn't matter if you break 3 fingers. It just don't matter. He just can't win for some reason. So yeah, man, that's Chelsea. But anyway, before we get into Arsenal Brighton, well, I guess it is part of Arsenal Brighton. I just wanted to touch on the Arteta press conference because I did a little short on it as well. In the press conference, he's asked a question about the set pieces and the style of play and just the general stuff that everyone's been talking about this season. And he does go on to say, if I could, like, I would love to play, basically, in so many words, this expansive, beautiful football that everyone's talking about, that 22-23 Arsenal with Jesus and Zinchenko and Martinelli, Odegaard, everyone just jinky. He's basically saying, I would love to do that, but the state of the game today basically makes that impossible. You'll be a fool. Basically, that's what he's getting at. He's saying you'll be a fool to play that way in this day and age, and it will not yield results. And I guess for the most part, I agree with him. Because look, forget this day and age. We've played that way, and it didn't yield results. You may say, oh, that's not due to the style of play. Maybe it was the nerves. Maybe there was other little things involved, the better City. But still, it wasn't conducive to success. For years, Arsenal have played beautiful football. We've played this. We've been the Barcelona of the Premier League, the tiki-taka, Wenger ball, Wilsheres and Klebs, and even before that, like, it's always been in our DNA, whatever that is. But what I remember is also Arsenal being called soft, Arsenal being called weak, Arsenal being always, the comparison was always men against boys when it came to Arsenal. What was it? Chelsea Arsenal play the football, Chelsea score the goals or win the game, whatever. All of that. Evra always saying it's like playing against boys. All like Stoke, like obviously Stoke, we got our own personal reason why we don't like Stoke, but teams like that would just come to our ground, or we'd go there, definitely mostly when we'd go there, and we'd just get bullied. That's the bullied. Brentford, I think it was first game of the season, a couple seasons ago. Bullied. Gary Neville even said it himself. Arsenal was men against boys. Arsenal were bullied. Look at David Raya. He can't be. How can the goalkeeper be complaining? If you're a goalkeeper, you cannot be saying I'm getting blocked. You got to move them out the way. When I played with Schmeichel, so listen, I just say all that to say the league has changed, and Arsenal, like I said in my other video, Arsenal are not the reason for the change. They're not the cause for the change, but what they are the ones that have adapted to the change the best. We've done the least complaining. We've got on with it and said, all right, cool, we got to find different ways to get to where we're trying to get to. Yeah, we've seen, and big up Arne Slot, because I don't even think he's as bad as people make out. But we've seen the Arne Slot press conferences. He's complaining. Every month or so, there's a new quote from Arne Slot talking about the state of the league and how it's not entertaining, or this isn't great football, or like how set pieces are dominant, how everything's physical, how if only I knew, if someone told us that this was going to happen. Like, that's why, respect to Arsenal, Arteta and the team, because nobody told them. They did the work. They realized, yo, this is where it's going. If you want to be the best, we got to be dominant at these things. We have to be dominant at these things. And people saying, like, this is the worst champions you've ever seen. Cool, well, aesthetically, that's kind of preference. I guess as an Arsenal fan, of course, there's games I've enjoyed. Every time we score a goal, I celebrate. I'm happy. I'm enjoying this. It's jubilations, endorphins. So for me, it's entertaining in that way. But in terms of like skills and all of that, yeah, cool. That's fair. You may say it's not as entertaining as before, but that's not just an Arsenal problem. The league is not as entertaining as before. Who is blowing people off the park and winning whilst doing that? Because it's all good being entertaining, it's all good being Bielsa's Leeds, but if you're getting relegated, who cares? What does that mean? It's all good being Ange, but if you're finishing 16th, who cares, bruv? So yeah, in terms of that, cool. Entertainment, subjective. But what I do want to get at is this league is harder than people are making out. This is probably one of the toughest seasons I've ever seen. This season here it's got man playing against the teams that are like 20th, 18th, 17th, and it's not even a banker. We just saw Wolves beat Liverpool. Wolves got points against Arsenal, and the first game they really could have got a point. So I think this league here and the teams in the middle as well, albeit maybe squad depth is where they fall short, so they can't go throughout the whole course of the season. But what game is an easy game? What game do you see out of Brighton, Brentford, Palace, Fulham? Who's the easy game? Which game is the easy game? Everyone is so, forget. What we will say is the quality in player in the years has gone down. Yeah, We agree with that. Like the best players in the Prem 10 years ago compared to today, yeah, probably day and night. But the general on the general plane of player quality, that has gone up, and that means those general teams, their quality has skyrocketed. There's players in these teams that would be in your, like they've all got international players, like 30 players, mate. You know, and on top of that, another thing that has elevated ridiculously is the coaching, the attention to detail, how much work is put into these teams setting up, the work going into setting up now is ridiculous. So this is not an easy league, man. It's not an easy league. I watched the Brighton manager, what's his name? Hertzler. I watched his press conference, and as much as he bigged us up with the set pieces, and he mentioned not adapting, not changing. He's like, I'm not, in terms of defending Arsenal set pieces. He's like, yeah, we know they're good at it, but changing, we're not doing that. He's saying basically, we have our way of defending set pieces. As long as we focus on how we defend set pieces, we should be all right. When we start changing and trying to focus on too many different things, that's when the confusion happens and things can go left. Hold on. Where is it? You want to exit? Alright, go on. Close the door. Bro, these kids, they can't hack it, man. Imagine 90 minutes. Anyway. Yeah, he mentioned about not switching up his style and defending set pieces. But then he also went on to complain about Arsenal, saying, yeah, I hope it's something that gets looked at in the near future in terms of the time spent on set pieces, that we waste a lot of time on set pieces and the ball is out of play for a lot of the times. And I'm pretty sure there was a stat earlier showing that we're one of the least. We have the ball in play, like we're up there with having the ball in play with one of the most. So don't know where he's getting his numbers from, but yeah, man, sort that out, mate. Now, in terms of today's game, listen, I need this to be routine business because we've had not too many, but we've had like about 3 or 4 emotional games. Brentford, emotional, like towards the end. Wolves, emotional towards the end. Then big game Spurs, Chelsea, like we need a breather. We need a game where we can be like, let's just do our job. So I'm hoping that's today. I'm still expecting a strong squad. I know it's midweek, but we've got Mansfield and then Leverkusen at home in Champions League. I'm expecting more rotation in those 2 games. Respect to Leverkusen, but I feel like... Leverkusen, we're away. Yeah, so I feel like those are 2 games we can risk rotating in more than this game against Brighton. Right now, we just need to keep trucking along. We need to get to that City game with momentum. Whatever they do, whether they drop points or whatever, they pick up points, whatever. When we reach that game, it needs to be momentum. So, yeah, this is a big game. I'm predicting a 2-0 from Arsenal. I just want it to be a normal day in the office. No hiccups, no nothing out of the ordinary. We've had some weird games here before where, I don't know, João Pedro I swear they got did they get a penalty or something for the ball bounced off Saliba's head and then they said he headbutted João Pedro, but we've also had some good results here as well. I think we actually do quite well at the, what's Brighton Stadium? The G-Tech? Flipping hell, I can't even remember. But yeah, I think we do all right there. In terms of the lineup, a part of me wants to see Odegaard back in this team, just for some control, man. A part of me wants to see him back in this team. I feel like we don't have anyone right now that comes on and it's like, yeah, this is one of my mates, big up Ricks, cannon on the cuff. I don't feel like we have guys right now that are like, all right, you bring this guy on, this is like the manager subbing himself on. When I talk to Ricks, when Mikel Merino comes on, he always says that's basically Arteta subbing himself on. And I feel that's the same with Odegaard, Havertz. I feel like those three players, when you see them on the pitch, those are players that are kind of more carrying out the plan that Arteta wants. And I just feel like there's a bit more control, especially with Odegaard. Marino a little bit as well. So I'd like to see Odegaard back in the team. I'll be interested to see what kind of tweak he can do, because as much as I want to see Odegaard back in the team, I still want Eze to play. Eze, this is your time. We need the momentum. Yo, let me wrap up this video. It's getting dark. I didn't consider the light and that. But yeah, man. Anyway, I guess that is the end of the video. Arsenal 2, Brentford 0, Brighton 0. That is my prediction. I want Saka to get on form. If the goals come from Saka and Eze, that would be great. Or one of them to get an assist and Gyökeres to get a goal, because we need the form now. We need people coming into form. I don't care how the goals are scored. Just get them in, get that confidence. We need momentum. And yeah, man. Not much more to say on that. I'll be doing a player ratings after the game. I might be with my bro Ricks, so you'll have his input as well. Pause. But yeah, man, that's all for now, people. Love, comment, like, and subscribe. I'm out.